Welcome to the second video of my new series, Indie Underground. The point of the series will be to show some of the most underground, underrated, and unknown game developers putting in serious work to create something different that I think deserves more recognition. This isn't a full review of the games, just a brief description with my own experience playing through the game and why I think you should check them out. The first game on the list is Dungeon Raid, a roguelike strategy RPG with cards, developed by 4Cat. Gameplay is pretty simple. Before the round starts, you choose 1 of 3 relics that give you a buff that persists until you finish the 30 rounds, or you lose like in the Bazaar or other roguelike games I can't think of right now. You start with 5 preset cards the game gives you depending on the character you pick. Each level has a set of cards that you flip in search of a key and door to move on to the next level. Every time you flip a card, you use up food. If the food bar hits 0, you start taking a point of damage every time you flip a card, and you get stress, which can turn into a debuff if you let the bar max out. Loot what you can without wasting food and make your way through to the final boss. It's a cool balance between stats you have to pay attention to throughout the fight. You'll find gold, weapons, potions, and books with different effects on them. There's also traps and enemies waiting behind the cards. Each character has their own special ability and a different strategy to bring to the table. After each battle, you choose a reward or you get to buy items at a shop before moving on to the next fight. The progression is still under development from what I understand, and there's no tutorial yet, so learning about the special ability you have took me like 6 runs before I realized it's a little button near your stat bars you can press. There's a lot of card flipping fun to be had here. Go check it out on Steam or itch.io. Next up is Fishing Hell. Developed by Splosh, released on June 30th this year as an itch.io browser game. It's a super fun, super simple fishing game. You're looking for your keys you lost in the lake. I didn't expect it to be this fun. Catch fish, eat fish for buffs, and smush fish together to make new rods and bait to cast further out looking for your keys. That's it. There's a couple surprises I'm not going to give away that you'll find at the end of the lake with a cool little Easter egg. Go check it out at the link in the description. Next on the list is Evolution, a physics simulator on itch.io that brings machine learning and evolutionary algorithms together to create this pretty unique program. I'm not even sure if you'd classify this as a game. It was fun and kind of addicting nonetheless. It released a couple years ago if I understand correctly and was inspired by digital and VFX artist Carl Sims. Using nothing but your creative skills, you design and build strange creatures, with quotes around creatures. It's not exactly what you expect to see when you hear the word creature, but what you make is up to you in your own imagination. You start by connecting joints, bones, and muscles into a skeletal frame, then throw it into a physics-based test environment to see if it can run, jump, climb, or even fly. It's chaotic, creative, and brilliant. Honestly, I still don't fully understand all the systems like the chromosomes, but after a little trial and error, you'll start seeing results. Sometimes hilarious, sometimes impressive. Just look at the crazy shit I made with limited knowledge. You don't need to understand chromosomes or machine learning theory to enjoy it. The game gives you tools to tweak things like the bone and joint weights, adding feathers to bones for flight, a slider for muscle strength, whether you want your muscle to contract or not, and you can even give them IDs which adds them to a group that follow the same commands, like if you need them all to contract or expand together for maybe something like wings. I spent the first 3 hours just trying to build something that could walk or at least fall forward in a convincing way. I loved it. There's no achievements, rewards, or goals beyond what you decide to set for yourself. That's kind of the beauty of it. You get lost experimenting, adjusting bones and muscles, watching your creature wobble and flop around until it finally figures out how to walk or do whatever you wanted it to do. The itch.io page gives plenty of explanation to get you started. Definitely worth checking out for the $2 that it was, or you can just play the demo for free. This next game I wasn't going to add to the list because it's made by Breda University of Applied Science, but I'll make an exception this time. Bloom was released June 11th this year on itch.io, a beautiful and eerie atmospheric garden adventure game. There's about an hour or 2 of gameplay that revolves around a garden and a strange giant plant you need to feed in hopes of earning your freedom. Outside the greenhouse are hostile plants you chop down for parts. There's also lore pages to find and pieces of your lost soul. You'll get seeds from feeding that giant plant you use to grow plants to harvest material off of to trade at the shop for some upgrades. It's a short, fun gameplay loop with light exploration, a little bit of resource management, and just enough mystery through the lore pages to keep things interesting. I don't remember how I found the game. You can't just type Bloom in the search bar on itch.io, but the link's in the description. Next up is Replay. This game scared the shit out of me. One of the craziest and shortest games I've ever played. I mean, this game was awesome. It came out February 2nd last year. It's 5 minutes of what the fuck is happening and jump scares. This is such a good game. The sound effects are amazing. I played it a second time a few days later just to show someone, and ended up getting jump scared again even knowing it was coming. If I say more, I'll give things away, so check it out on itch.io. Link in the description with all the others. Up next is Usual June, a third-person action and adventure RPG being developed by Finji. I think that's how you pronounce it. Said to release sometime this year. A quick disclaimer, you can't play this on mouse and keyboard right now. You need an Xbox or PlayStation controller. You play as a high schooler or college student from Chicago named June. The demo starts you off in the middle of some investigation during the start of summer vacation in Finn Harbor with your friend Sunny on someone named Dead Teddy. You look around the house learning a little bit about the lore while also learning the controls before opening up a portal, or ripping a universe, or whatever you want to call it, and hopping in, pulling you further into the story. Controls felt good in and out of combat. It all took some getting used to, but the combat's fun and engaging. It felt impactful. You've got some cool ranged items, and switching them out feels nice and smooth with the slow-mo they have when you open the menu during combat. Dodging and switching back and forth from melee to range is just as smooth. It reminds me of Kingdom Hearts without all the crazy combos, but maybe they'll add that later on as you go through the game. Animations and graphics look good, the music goes well with everything so far. The theme music is nice and chill, and the best way I could describe the in-game music for the little area you get to explore is atmospheric. Check the demo out on Steam. Next up is Inkborn, being developed by Akram Digital, looking to put a new twist on the roguelike deck builder genre, with strategic combos and a skill tree, as well as some beautiful origami art style graphics. It plays like you'd expect from this type of game. After each win, you choose a card out of 3 to add to your deck and move on to the next fight. Sometimes you get a chance to upgrade your main weapon card, and sometimes there's an event. There's a little town you use as a base during your expedition that you can upgrade as you progress through the game. The demo shows a glimpse of the combat system and some of the combos you can do with one of the 3 classes. When you unlock new combos, the game will auto-suggest them for you, depending on what cards you have up, so you won't have to memorize any of them, and you'll adjust your playstyle as you unlock new combos. You'll be able to customize your deck before getting into the game. With the way buffs and debuffs stack from your cards, on top of all the items you can use, there should be tons of different outcomes. The map will be procedurally generated with a fog of war and non-linear exploration. Every time you move, you gain stacks of something called Chronicle Points. If it reaches 100, you get a curse and the points reset. This should be a nice trade-off between exploring for more loot or having to get to the end as fast as possible. But we'll know more about the system and how it'll work once the game's out. I'm excited to see the skill tree, what the town is going to be like, and how all the cards are going to evolve. Literally just adding combos to a game like this adds so much extra strategy. That's not even including the skill tree. There's a playtest coming July 19th through the 20th, and you should be able to download the demo on Steam now. Necrofugitive is a 2D stealth action platformer with some nice hand-drawn graphics, being developed by Black Garden, a 4-person team. Still very much in early development, you play as a shape-shifting prisoner given powers by some god in a medieval world. You're on the run being hunted by the kingdom. The game's not bad so far. The controls took a minute to get used to. The abilities were pretty fun to use, especially the demon form. I think the goal is to escape, so you stealth around or fight your way through. I didn't really play the game one way or the other. I mixed stealth with killing whatever was in front of me. You've got a bar that fills every time you kill something that eventually lets you transform into a big-ass demon and smash through walls and anything else that stands in your way, with its own set of abilities like summoning minions to fight for you. There's a skill tree for both your normal form and your demon form. The voice acting's well done, the sound effects are strong and felt, the music isn't overpowering, it's got a nice dungeony vibe to it. For more info, they have a Kickstarter link in the description if you want to support this project, and a demo out on Steam and itch.io. I'm not sure if it works with Linux or Mac OS. Project Silverfish. This game's hard as fuck. It's a first-person shooter set in a brutally hostile world where you play as a rat navigating a broken... No, wait. You play as a lizard. You play as a lizard in this broken, Fallout-looking world. Patience is a virtue here, which contradicts the fast-paced combat. Released in early access on June 25th this year, the game is all about survival, exploration, and adapting to whatever it throws at you. If you don't like the 6 preset classes, you can build your own character from scratch, customizing stats, perks, and gear colors. There's multiple factions, quests, and some RNG lockpicking, and a ton of different loot to find out in the world. You'll be running around looking for clues and quest objectives, all while different enemy factions are trying to kill you. The combat feels fairly balanced. Damage-wise, it seems good on both sides, but they shouldn't be popping me from a mile away unless they got a long-range weapon, not a machine gun, pistol, or shotgun. I know I made it hard on myself picking a naked lizard, but damn. The other thing is, you don't seem to be able to lose aggro once they're on you, no matter how far you run or where you hide. I love the tense moments, especially in the pitch-black underground dungeons and facilities. If you die, you only get to keep 5 items you choose. Everything else is left on a bag where you last died, and I think if you die again before getting it, it's gone for good like Dark Souls. Environmental anomalies like anti-gravity zones are found all over the place, and they randomize each time you enter a new zone, except maybe the dungeons. It's definitely not for the faint of heart. If you like a challenge, mystery, exploration, or just fast first-person shooter style gameplay, check this out. How many was that? I didn't count. This is barely scratching the surface. There's a lot more out there and a lot more I want to show you. What do you think of these games? And if there's others you think deserve some love, let me know. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.